What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Inside MMA podcast. Today, I'm bringing you an interview with Phumi Turbo Nkuta, the CFFC Flyweight champion, training at Law MMA in Long Island under Ray Longo. He's the number 1 ranked flyweight in New York, the number 18 ranked flyweight in the Northeast region of the country, and he is a freaking beast. He's super confident. He's already getting looks from the UFC, and he will no doubt be a flyweight superstar when he does get there. I'm telling you, you guys will see in this interview how confident he is, the bravado he brings to the table, and his work ethic. If you guys follow him on the gram, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Make sure you guys check him out. He's such a beast. I'm super excited for him, and there's definitely going to be more to come with us in terms of content creation in the future. So I'm super excited about this interview, and I'm super excited to bring this to you guys. Real quick, before we get into it, this interview is brought to you by the Manimal documentary. The Manimal documentary is the first documentary that I'm going to be releasing from this platform, the Inside MMA platform, where our whole goal is to bring you inside to the life of MMA athletes and the UFC in general. So we're going to put that out soon. I'm not going to give you too much on that. Just be on the lookout for the Manimal documentary, and there will be more to come on that. But anyways, without further ado, let's go talk to Phumi. Thank you guys for watching.
Let me put that bad boy right there.
Let's go.
Put that bad boy right there.
Woo! That thing's pretty.
Right? It's shining.
Guys, we got 2 interviews in. We got a champion on the roster.
All right, my man. That's it. We're booking.
Hell yeah. All
Whenever
right.
you're ready.
All right. Welcome.
Welcome. I'm going to be eating a little bit, but I hope you don't mind.
I don't mind.
So, Phumi, Turbo Nkuta.
Yes, sir.
Why Turbo?
Why Turbo? So I'm going to be honest. It really started as a flattering nickname. You know what I'm saying? I used to, I got it from one of my coaches, Eric Heyer, because I would actually rush technique a lot. I would always try and use speed. So I would take his 12 o'clock kickboxing class, and let's say, right, the combo would be jab, cross, hook, right, round kick. Something simple as that. I would throw that combo. I'll throw that son of a bitch so fast. I'm telling you, it would get to the pads quick, but the technique would be trash, man. I'm telling you. So, he one day was watching me work, and he's just like, all right, slow it down there, Turbo. And he just started calling me by that name. A couple people in the class did, and I kind of turned it into something good. Obviously, we're winning belts at this nickname now, so
fuck yeah,
it ain't in the same light as before. But yeah, that's how it got started.
You do have that, like, first of all, I've seen you train, and you do have like an engine to you. Like there's a speedy motor behind the nickname too.
There's a pace that, like you said, there's an engine to the name.
Yeah. And like you're a flyweight, it kind of makes sense. Like you're a speedy, like work hard type of guy. So it's a fitting nickname.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I had to turn it into something good. You know what I mean? Yeah. They kept calling me Turbo. I'm over here like, come on, guys. Like I know I'm fast, but let's not make fun of me here. Let me get these techniques down.
But so did you get the techniques down?
Oh, I mean, how do you think we won this belt, baby? 20 minutes in the octagon.
Bro, that was the best fucking response you could have had right there.
It's the only one.
Fuck yeah. All right. So you beat a 5-1 pro at the time. You made him 5-2 to put the gold around your waist as a fighter. What was that like?
Can't lie, man. When Rob Haydak put that belt, man, right over my shoulder. Honestly, I felt the same feeling I felt a little bit earlier, man. I think it was towards the end of the fight, and Ray Longo is telling me, I have the guys back. I have the body triangle. Ray Longo goes, look, you're pitching a shutout, kid. You got this. He's like, look, man, like you got a couple minutes left, but you are pitching a shutout. Just keep doing your thing. And I almost felt like a sense of relief when he said that, man, because it was like, you worked 8 weeks for something, literally like more than that, man, because I remember I started training 5 rounds after my last fight before that. So I've been training 5 rounds since October of last year, basically. You know what I'm saying? And to have that belt wrapped around, my shoulder, to have, Ray Longo tell me you're pitching a shutout, flawless victory, man, it's I almost can't put it into words. It's almost like a sense of relief, but at the same time, as you get this sense of, man, I'm just not done yet. I got a lot more to do, man. I got a lot more to prove. You got to keep that ball rolling. So that's why I'm in the gym all the time, man. That's why I'm working out. That's why I'm always in shape.
Facts, and we're gonna talk about your work ethic a bit later, but I saw you started out your pro career in Bellator, and then you went to Cage Fury, which obviously that ended up being a good move because now you're the Cage Fury champion. You can say you're a championship athlete. It's fucking crazy.
I'm a championship athlete. I'm a world champion.
And you're a professional athlete who has achieved championship status.
Come on, man. Not just what you got to say it right. World champion.
Facts. And dude, I'm pretty sure Paul Felder had a Cage Fury belt before he went to the UFC.
A lot of guys did. I don't know. Yeah, Kaylin Chikagan was a double-weight champ. I mean, obviously Aljo was a champ. You got a lot of people who were at the top of CFFC who ended up going to do big things. So
damn, bro,
we're ready.
What brought you from Bellator to Cage Fury? Because I would think it would be the other way around. Because Bellator's the second biggest promotion.
I mean, look, to be honest, man, I never really, it wasn't really up to me.
Aljo.
Yeah, to get a cameo in there.
Bro, that's crazy.
Another world champion making a cameo.
Let me go get my belt now.
You got it,
bro.
But I don't even remember what you asked, man. This guy ruined the whole flow of the podcast.
Bro, that's a viral moment right there.
Bro, they got.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about why'd you go from Bellator to Cage Fury instead of Cage Fury to Bellator?
I will say, here's the thing, man. At the end of the day, we had that fight for Bellator, and they don't really have a 125-pound division. So I think that fight they had for me was almost like a one-off type of thing. Now, if they wanted to bring the division back, I think, they want to put some meat on the bones of that division. They would probably start looking for guys my size and all that. But I don't believe they have a flyweight division. So that's why we had to go to CFFC and, we'll go to the UFC from there.
I'm looking at these flyweight UFC rankings right now. Bro, here's the thing, dude. Here, let me list your attributes real quick. Number 18th ranked flyweight fighter in the U.S. Northeast. Number 1 ranked flyweight in New York. In fucking New York, you're the number 1 ranked flyweight.
Hold on, say that one more time for the people in the back so they can hear it.
Number 1 ranked flyweight in New York.
Come on, man. In all 50 states, I'm number 1. What are we talking about? Send me that contract.
Bro, they got to give you the big bag now. They got to bring the Brinks
truck.
truck.
They got to give me the big bag. We're over here focused on the big bucks.
It's coming, bro. So, aside, you said Ray Longo told you you're pitching a shutout when you won your belt, right? Are there any other standout moments of your career so far, even amateur or pro, whatever? Definitely.
I mean, obviously, when you're with such a talented team, you're with like a talented group of people, even something as far as, cornering Marab for a fight can be like a big moment because there's all these moments pack on and help you become a better fighter, man. But I got to admit that Bellator fight was a huge one for me too, because that was one of the first times I had to really push through a mental, I don't want to say, I guess maybe like a mental block that I had in my head, man, because not gonna lie, before even as an amateur, I won 2 amateur belts, went undefeated as an amateur MMA fighter, never really got touched, never got bruised up or beat up or anything like that. And going into my Bellator fight, it was the same concept. I was out wrestling the guy, beating him skill for skill, will for will everywhere, but going into that third round, I was starting to get tired, man. My arms are starting to, feel a little heavy, you know what I mean? My chest was starting to, hurt a little bit, and my lungs, I could start to feel them. But the biggest thing for me, right, it wasn't even winning that fight, but it was going into the third round when I'm looking across the octagon and I see how tired I am, and I feel how tired I am. But I look at him and I go, just in my head, it's just something I said to myself in my head. I didn't say it to anyone else in the corner. It's just something I knew to be true. But I was just like, look, I don't give a damn how tired I am. He's way more tired than me. I'm just gonna keep pushing forward, man. And breaking through that mental lapse right there, I think it set me on for the tone for the rest of my career. And look, no matter how tired I am, trust me, if I'm tired, Turbo's tired, the other guy's gotta be dying.
Man, I love that. So if we take a step back from fighting, tell me more about your background. Just what do you do outside of fighting? What did you do before fighting? You tell me.
Yeah. I mean, look, man, I feel like I'm a normal human being, you know what I'm saying? But I gotta be honest, I don't really do much at this point besides fighting.
I'm a normal human being with a championship belt.
Well, you think we get these belts by like going out, going crazy? Yeah, like look, I gotta make this point clear too, man. Like, do I have a life? Yes. I mean, obviously I have family, I have friends, I go up, but like I can't do that many things, or at least I shouldn't, because I want to be the best in the world. Look, like at the end of the day, I could win this belt, and but I could have walked out of there with bruises. I could have walked out of there, with a fight of the night or whatever, right? Or having eaten a couple, kicks or punches. The reason why I can walk into a 20-minute fist fight and not get touched once. Walk into a ring with another guy who had 8 whole weeks to try and hit me once, and he couldn't for 20 minutes. That's because all I do is fighting at this point, man. I live, breathe, and eat it. At this point, man, I have friends I go out, but it's train, eat, sleep. That's it. Repeat, man.
Is that how everybody at Law is?
For the most part, yeah, most people. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you have to live like that to be successful, but just for me, where I want, like, and I'm not even saying where other people want to be versus me, but just for me and how I'm gonna get there, I'm gonna get there much faster. I'm gonna get there at a much rapid pace. I'm gonna get there at a much flashy pace. Shoot, I'm 3-0. I'm already world champ. I'm gonna get there pretty quickly by doing nothing but grinding. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. So you're in that undefeated class still.
Undefeated, baby.
Is that are you gonna just never lose? Is that the plan?
Not only are we never gonna lose, bro, we're just never gonna get touched. I think the main goal isn't just to get these post-fight interviews, but it's to look as beautiful as possible during these post-fight winning interviews. No,
that's a great.
You want to have all the people looking at you. You want to have the girls telling you, "Come on, man, what are we talking about?"
It's like you didn't come to the post fight interview to take part. You came to the post fight interview to take over.
To take over, baby. That's it.
You rep your country. Tell me about that.
South Africa, baby, right there on the chest, right there on the heart. Yes, that's where my family's from, man. My mom came from South Africa when she was 19 years old. Grinded. You think I grind? That woman grinded way more than I did much more than I could do. And brought me and my brothers up, at that same token. So, most of my family's also still in South Africa too. So, my grandparents and, cousins, uncles, we're really only the ones in, it's like me and my cousin and my aunt, who are in Canada and North America. But other than that, man, everyone's in South Africa. So I always got to shout it out to the people back home, man. And even raising my flag, I've met so many different people, from MMA fighters to celebrities to even just, normal people that are just fans of the sport and, that have gotten into the sport because of me. It just brings me with joy, man. And it makes me want to keep flying that flag high and raising up and, getting these achievements, not just for myself, but for them.
Well, that's like a lot of fighters I see do that because the UFC has made this such an international phenomenon. Like, so it's kind of cool to see like the melting pot that is like the UFC and just mixed martial arts It's like the most exciting sport. That's one of many reasons.
Think about it, man. Like fighting is in everybody's DNA. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody like at some point or another in your life, you wanted to fight somebody. I don't care who you are. Maybe you did it or you didn't do it, but it's in your blood. It's in your DNA. And especially when you see it at the highest level in such a beautiful art form, you know what I'm saying? And you see, to me, it's almost like watching poetry in motion. But you have guys from all over the globe, from Japan, from Brazil, from China, you know. Now we got guys from Africa who are holding UFC gold. So it's just to see everybody kind of come together, man, and watch this beautiful sport. It brings a tear to my eye because I just love this sport regardless, man. So the fact that everybody else is loving it too, it's awesome. I want to see the sport grow.
Facts. Yeah. Now I was just hearing that they just signed like a TV deal in France. So it's not even done expanding. That's the crazy thing.
France just legalized mixed martial arts actually not too long ago. So, you know, now they got that, right? So, I mean, look at all the places even in Africa that we could do big UFC shows. And I mean, you got so much talent there, man. You know, in South Africa and other, you know, other countries in Africa as well. Dude, this sport is only going to get bigger. In my opinion, at some point, it will be the biggest sport in the world, maybe overtaking soccer, you know, maybe.
That would be crazy.
It would be crazy. But look, man, I think people can relate a lot more to mixed martial arts than they can to kicking the ball in the net. That's just me. And there's no offense to soccer. I love soccer, but, you know.
But think of, like, I haven't trained in mixed martial arts yet. I'm definitely going to start in some kind of martial arts, but like so looking at it from like a blank canvas point of view, it's like I could pick any martial art that kind of fits what I think my physical attributes would lend itself best to.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I'll tell you what you could also do. Start learning all of them. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Look, man, that's what I started doing, man. When I was 12 and I first found this sport, I begged, I pleaded, I got my mom after like annoying the crap out of her for a while to sign me up for kickboxing at a school. And then when I was doing that, I would come home and then I would meet up with my friends, you know, at the local YMCA, and then we would drill jiu-jitsu from a jiu-jitsu book. There wasn't even like YouTube videos on jiu-jitsu at the time because I was still middle school. You know what I'm saying? So my buddy bought a jiu-jitsu book and we would go to the YMCA. And so, you know what I'm saying? So just learning anything in general, you know, to make you a better fighter is going to pay off dividends in your career 100%, whether it's jiu-jitsu, wrestling, you know, kickboxing, just learn them all. But make sure you learn wrestling, though. You need that.
I don't think I'm going to get into like trying to be a fighter.
No.
Right.
But it's fun, man, you know?
Oh, yeah. No, like I was listening to Joe Rogan. He interviewed Rickson Gracie. Yeah, yesterday he put out that interview. And
yeah,
just all the stuff Rickson Gracie would, like all the benefits he would get from it for his mind, just from his jiu-jitsu, like mastering jiu-jitsu. I'm like, I feel like you can't get that anywhere else, really. So
yeah. I mean, look, man, I just heard this on the Joe Rogan podcast, you know, a couple weeks ago when I was listening. Also, it's a quote we all know. It's better to be, you know, a warrior in a garden than a gardener in the middle of war. You know what I'm saying? I 100% believe that's true too.
Facts. Totally. But back to you. What made you choose to pursue fighting as a profession?
Gotta be honest, man. I started as a pro wrestling fan. So back in the day, I would watch, you know, the guys like Bret Hart, The Undertaker, the Stone Cold, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I knew this guy named Ken Shamrock. He was like in the Attitude Era, around like 97, 90, 98 was when he was wrestling for WWE. And so I saw him, and I actually knew Ken Shamrock first as a professional wrestler. So, you know, I'm like 11, 12 now, and I'm flipping through the channels randomly, and I see Ken Shamrock in a legit fist fight with Tito Ortiz. So, like, I'd seen boxing before at this point. I'd seen, you know, wrestling. I'd even seen, judo and stuff like that, even the PKA kickboxing I'd seen, but I'd never, ever seen anything like MMA, man. Oh, wait. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to let you out. Yeah, I'd never seen anything like MMA, you know? So when I was flipping through the channels and I saw Ken Shamrock fighting, I'm like, okay, this ain't fake. This definitely ain't WWE. This ain't fake. And they're definitely not boxing. Like, what the hell is going on, man? So yeah, I was a fan ever since. Yeah, it was Aljo. It was Aljo. Yeah, it wasn't me. But yeah, man, it was surreal. I've been hooked ever since, man. And every single day, I just love learning something new about the sport. I remember I saw Tito Ortiz take Ken Shamrock down and sit in his guard and throw punches and pass his guard. And I was practicing that same thing, you know what I mean? Like on my brothers and by myself and on my friends, just the next day, a couple of days after. So it was love at first sight, I guess you could say.
Yeah, clearly, if you were reading jiu-jitsu books and
right. Everyone when they're a kid, they're trying to play Xbox and hang out with friends, and I did some of that too. But I was reading jiu-jitsu books, bro.
Thanks, bro. I was learning how to edit. It was the same thing for me, except same passion. Yeah, but okay. So what brought you to law? Also, are you from Jersey or New York?
I'm from Jersey, man. I'm a Jersey kid.
But you stay in New York now, right?
I stay in New York.
Okay, so what brought you to Long Island? The Long Island.
Yeah, so I did kickboxing, then I hopped to jiu-jitsu when I was in Jersey. After that, I joined the wrestling team in South Brunswick High School Wrestling. Man, I learned a lot from those guys. After that, wherever I was gonna go to school, I wanted to fight. So I'd actually looked at Concordia University in Montreal. I visited the school. I visited TriStar. I wanted to train because George St. Pierre is one of my favorite fighters. I wanted to train along with the best. So I took a trip out to Montreal, visited TriStar, met Faraz Sahabi. Cool dude, man. Nice guy. But actually, so the deadline in America for a lot of universities was like May 1st. And Concordia, it's international school. It's Canadian. So the deadline was coming up and they hadn't gotten back to me yet. So I was just like, screw it, man. I'm just gonna, take this ride to Hofstra, you know what I'm saying? Because my mom, I wasn't even gonna go, but my mom was like, look, they're giving you a free application. I'm forcing you to do this application. You are gonna apply to this school. And it's crazy. I ended up going to Hofstra, and now I'm with the best freaking team in the world, man. So if it wasn't for my mom, who knows where I'd be, man.
That's crazy that you went to Montreal and met Faraz.
Yeah. Look, man, I was very serious about fighting. Even when I was young, I knew what I wanted to do for a living. And I wanted to do it as well as I could, as hard as I could, but as smart as I could too. So I knew, Faraz Sahabi, GSP, those guys, they were a step ahead of others in terms of, mentalities, being a cerebral fighter, being a smart fighter.
Oh yeah, George St. Pierre's interview with Rogan, you could tell he was very cognizant of like not getting his head messed up, which I always wonder, like, do fighters think about that a lot, or do they just ignore it, or how do they like?
Look, some fighters do, some fighters don't, man. Some, like, you see it, man. Some fighters, you look at a guy like Diego Sanchez. I mean, come on, man. That guy don't care who he's fighting. Yeah. He's ready to scrap. He's ready to brawl. But you look at, another guy like Dominic Cruz, his later fights, I mean, obviously he's gotten tagged a little bit more because I think age got to him. You look at his footwork, you look at the way he moved, that man was not ever getting touched. He had a fight with Scott Jorgensen, where Scott Jorgensen, I think, hit him with 9 strikes. You know what I'm saying? So those were the guys I always ended up looking up to, the guys like Dominic Cruz, the guys like George St. Pierre, the guys who were smart enough to know I got to hit and not get hit. That's how you end up becoming the best, man.
I feel like that's the best way to go about it. That's like being a backup quarterback. It's like you get paid the most amount of money to sit down and not get hurt, basically, while everybody else around you's like colliding with other men, you're just getting paid to sit.
When I see my opponents go through, or like, someone I want to compete go through something like that, I'm like, good, take the damage. I'm like, good, because when I get there, you're gonna be a lot worse off than me,
Facts. So describe the community of fighters at, Law and then Sarah's. What's it like being around such high caliber guys?
Oh man.
Also, who do you train with? Tell us who you train with. Like, who are your peers?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we got a great group of guys. The guys I usually end up training with the most, Steve Lee. He's actually got a fight this weekend.
I heard, yeah.
Yeah, big fight. I've been moving around a lot lately with Anthony DeLemme as well. He's also fighting on the same card this weekend. Both solid up and comers. I mean, those guys could probably be pros right now, if they want to. They're really good. They work hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Pompos as well. He fights for CFFC. Fought on the same card as me, my last fight. Explosive, heavy hitting dude. I mean, obviously, yeah, obviously you got, the other guys on our team too, the Marabs, the Aljos, the Dennis Bazookias and stuff like that. But the guys I'm usually sparring with and I'm in the mix with is usually like, if Marab's not here, I'm going with, DeLemme, or I'm going with, Steve Lee, or I'm going with Pompos. Or I might even go with I forgot his name, man. Killing me that it's drawn a blank. My guy Dillashaw too. He just fought Santo Curatolo. So I'll usually, spar with those guys. And then over at Sarah's, man, come on, man. It's just killer after killer there too, bro. You don't get any breaks going to Law or Sarah's. So, I mean, you got guys like Danny Stolfi, you got, Fabian Ramirez, you got, we call him Queen Mike. The list just goes on and on, man. Obviously, Manimal beats me up on a regular basis there too. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, John is like the best 40-year-old athlete I've ever seen.
Ever.
Yeah.
I almost wish they had an over 40, type of MMA promotion, because I think he'd be champion.
We were talking about it. Like,
you could, I was telling him, like, John, you could like seriously compete in some of these grappling tournaments. Like, why don't you do that? Like, make that your thing. And he was like, yeah, I've thought about it. Like, but he told me actually for his fight at the Garden that he training with you, because you're so quick, got him like ready to win. Like he said that in his interview, like specifically you. So
yeah, no, we sparred a bunch. We sparred a bunch leading up to that fight, man, and he was in good shape. He was ready to go. Obviously, he freaking killed it, man. He killed that fight.
Yeah, he's impressive. We got a whole documentary coming out about him. So you have 2 unanimous decisions and a submission on your record. What would you say is your preferred method for getting the hand raised?
To me, it don't matter, man. I just want to, you know what's funny? A lot of people, they like to say like, oh, I like to, knock somebody out because, that means, I gave them no choice to put them out. You have some people that say, oh, I like submitting people because then, I like to watch them give up. Me, man, and look, call me crazy, man. I like breaking opponents. I like breaking my opponents. Like, to me, I could win by decision. I could, win by knockout. I could win by submission. But I take pride, man. I love that feeling of after a match, I broke you. You know what I'm saying? This was my Bellator fight was the first time I got to really experience that. And I told you what I thought going into the 3rd round. After the fight, I see the guy, he's laying on the ground for 5 minutes. The guy did not get up. He was laying on the ground exhausted. Meanwhile, I'm up, I'm walking around. We're in the Mohegan Sun Arena with 10,000 seats. So I'm trying to hype up the crowd. You know what I'm saying? And just seeing how exhausted and how broken he was, that to me knows that, man, like, because at the end of the day, look, you can knock out a guy. You can submit a guy, whatever. But when you break people, you look at the guys who break people over the course of history, the guys like GSP, the guys like, Khabib, the guys like Demetrius Johnson, the guys that truly break people end up being the best in the world and on that stature, greatest of all time. At the end of the day, we hop in that octagon. I don't give a damn if you bring submission skills. I don't give a damn if you bring knockout skills. I don't care if you bring good cardio. I'm going to break you. And at the end of the day, that's why I got this belt.
Facts. On Brendan Schaub's podcast, he was talking about how like these girls who go up against Amanda Nunes, like their whole goal in life is to be a UFC champion, and then she just dusts them off their shoulder like that, and like it's nothing. And then they realize like, oh, I'm never gonna beat this girl. Like as long as she keeps fighting, I'm not gonna be a champion. So in a way, she kind of breaks them down in that same way. So is it kind of like when you break an opponent, is it like you just know that they know they're not going to beat you, but they have to keep fighting you?
That's the whole thing. It's like, dude, look, man, whether you get the finish, the knockout, or it goes to decision, I know that fight ends and we got 5 more minutes, I'm going to still break you. You're not beating me. You know what I mean? If they reschedule us in 2 weeks, I'm going to still beat you. You're not breaking me. They give us 3 months. Great. You just gave me 3 months to prepare. I'm still breaking you. You ain't beating me, man. Like that's why I love breaking people. I'm telling you, you take some fights, a guy will get a knockout. He might not get that same knockout the next time around. But every time I'm in that ring, I've broken every single opponent I've ever fought.
How do you break an opponent down? Like what is from beginning of the fight to opponent is definitely broken? How do you do that?
I don't want to give all my secrets away.
Oh, okay, yeah. Respectfully.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to give all my secrets away, but look, let's just put it this way. Everybody always thinks one thing going into a match with me, going into a fight with me, going into sparring with me, going to wrestling or jiu-jitsu. Everybody always thinks one thing the first time they step on a mat with me. And then they always leave thinking something different. That's all I'm going to say.
Bro, I can't wait till you're talking like this on the UFC stage. Like you're going to be a star, bro.
Come on, man. Who else is talking like me? Honestly, nobody. Bro. No, especially not in my weight class.
Yeah, no, I feel like you're like going to be the McGregor of flyweight. Like,
you know what's funny, man? Like, I think we're looking past McGregor. I think I want that Muhammad Ali, like Sugar Ray Leonard type of, that's where I'm looking, man. Like, look, I love and respect the guy, Conor McGregor, but I'm not about the recency bias here. I want that legendary status. I want that Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard. When I come on TV, they want to see the prettiest man in the game type of look,
Hey, I respect that's respectable. So that being said, are you saying McGregor is not a legend?
Don't get me wrong. I think he's very good. I think he's taken our sport to a level that otherwise we might not be at right now. I think he took our sport, and I don't believe we're getting paid at this juncture, but he definitely took our sport to the same level of popularity, or at least a similar level of popularity as, the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL. Because now, man, everybody in the world knows who Conor McGregor is. And almost everybody in the world basically knows what the UFC is. And a lot of that is due to Conor McGregor, his mouth, and what he's able to provide. But I don't just want to be known. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to actually be the best.
Yeah.
And I think that part is where Conor lacks a little bit. He's not really the most well-rounded guy. He's not really, I'm not going to say he's the best jiu-jitsu guy. He's not the best wrestler. He has a tough time mixing it up. And the guy is kind of known for getting a little tired in some of his fights. At the end of the day, not only am I going to go out there, talk my ish, talk about how pretty I am, talk about how fast I am, talk about how I'm 3-0 and a world champion, but I'm actually go out there and show you by mixing it up, by showing I'm the best wrestler in the world, by taking these people's backs, finish them, showing I'm the best jiu-jitsu guy in the world, standing in front of these guys in the pocket, ready to bang, and showing them I'm the best striker in the world. At the end of the day, I'm going to tell people I'm the best, and I'm going to show them I'm the greatest. I'm going to do it for a very, very, very long time. I just need to get there.
Basically, Dana said, like, if you do that, if you win and entertain people, if you entertain people and you keep winning,
you're going to the top.
You're going to be loaded.
Exactly.
You're gonna
And who can
you
say
make
it
a lot
like
of money.
me?
Nobody. I've never. This is crazy, bro. I'm like, you're making me hyped right now.
I know. I can see it on your face.
Right? Yeah. I'm geeking right now. Um, how did the pandemic affect your training, your career? How did that set you back, or what did it do?
I gotta be honest, man. And look, I mean, obviously this pandemic has affected a lot of people in a bad light. I mean, even myself, to some degree. But man, I gotta be honest. I think, and I don't want to sound shallow or hurtful when I say this, but man, I think it was one of the best things that ever happened to me. Because that first week, we couldn't train. When the gyms were shut down, everything was shut down, and I think, man, we were in the house for a week, and just that week, we turned our garage that we had, that was a storage room, filled it up with mats, got it all taped up and ready to go, and we were training about 3 times a day, every single day leading up that pandemic. We had weights in there too, so I was doing the weight room every single day. So because everything was shut down, I would lift in the morning, train right after, and just drill, go live, just drill, and then go farm in my backyard because there's nothing else to do. You know what I'm saying? And even when that documentary came out, The Last Dance, with Michael Jordan, it came out around that same time, man. And I gotta be honest, can I say I've always acted, in that light, in the same light of the documentary, acted with this work ethic that I have? No. But have I always kind of felt that way? And have I always been able to relate to that guy? Yeah. And so watching the documentary, man, was one of the first times I could really relate to somebody. And so it almost made me just really kick it into overdrive, man. And I haven't stopped since.
So this is a great time actually to ask, describe your grind as a fighter. What?
It's daily, man. It's daily until, my body says, hey, look, I need a day. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, man, I feel like I can't stop. I look at even the guys, man, and it all makes sense. Like I said, I didn't always, live my life like Jordan, but when I was watching the documentary, I could always relate to the guy. I never could relate to anybody more than that guy in watching the documentary. So for me, man, I look at where he is and how he got there. And it's all right, well, he got there by grinding, learning, and working every single day. I'm gonna do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not at the gym, trust me, I'm watching YouTube videos. I'm watching, and the same ones over and over again, just to get the techniques right, just to get my wrestling right, just to make sure my striking is on point. I'm, saving. I wish you could see my saved folders in my Instagram, because it's all just jiu-jitsu, wrestling, striking, MMA techniques. You know what I'm saying? Look, if you want to be the best, or not even the best, because even the best can fall short of this a little bit. If you want to be the greatest, one of the all-time greats to ever do it, you got to live your life like this, man. And not just for a couple of days, not just for 10 days or 15 days or until you get unmotivated. This has to be your way of life, man. You gotta almost even say goodbye to the things you like in life, sacrifice for what you want now. And I'm ready to do that.
You should read Michael Jordan's trainer has a book. He has 2 books. He has one called Relentless and one called Winning. I read Winning. I listened to it, actually. Listen to that, because I feel like it's it's your mentality, but it's it'll take it to the next, even the next level. Because this guy trained Kobe, he trained Michael Jordan, he's trained. He has right, yeah. And the stories he says in there, I actually listened to it when I was in New York. The last time when I was seeing you and shit. So I'm filming my documentary in New York, listening to Winning, and I'm fuck, this is crazy. So, but I think you should read it. It's really good.
Sure, man. I mean, Yeah, I mean, look, man. At this point, I'll take all the. I feel like I got the blueprint down, but I'll take it all, man.
Not that you need it, yeah.
Yeah, you need it, man. You gotta look the same way. It's like you get someone right, and every single day someone might tell him you're gonna be nothing, and that might cause that guy to believe he's nothing. You have something telling you something in the opposite light, something that's telling you you're gonna be the best every single day. You best believe you're gonna believe it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna live it just a little bit more. You're gonna walk around with your chest out and your shoulders back, like you believe it. So I'll take it.
What is a day in the life like for you?
Gotta be honest, man. I don't think it's as interesting as people would like it to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm constantly sore. I wake up sore. I leave sore, and but at the end of the day, man, I just have fun learning martial arts, doing martial arts, working as an athlete, and getting better every day, man. We're going to the moon. I wake up, I train, I go home, I eat, and then we go into the moon.
Phumi coin to the moon.
We're going to the moon. Turbo stock's going up.
When your last win made you a champion, are you gonna continue pursuing the belt in CFFC, or will you try to move on to a different organization?
I mean, I don't know if you could tell, but we're already trying to move on. I don't know if you could tell by my Instagram post. I mean, I had people tag Mick Maynard for a whole day on Instagram. You know what I mean?
Crap.
So I wouldn't look, man. I'll defend that belt again. You know what I'm saying? I would love to defend the CFFC strap. I love CFFC. Those guys gave me an opportunity at 2-0. Those guys gave me an opportunity on commentary as well. So I love working with those guys. I like those guys. Rob Haydak's the man. There's very few promoters, I think, you can actually have a conversation with them and know actually, even after your fights, when you're hurt, this or that will go up to you, hang out with you, talk to you, and really try and make sure you're in the best spirits, best light, and that you're taken care of. I got to look at Rob Haydak for that. He's the man. But come on, man. At the end of the day, I just want to show I'm the best in the world. I truly believe that, especially at 125 pounds, I'm one of the better fucking fighters in the world. You put one of those guys and you tell them to fight me with the jiu-jitsu, they're going to have a tough time. You tell them to out-wrestle me, they're going to have a tough time. You tell them to strike with me, I'm going to be a problem for them. So I just want to take that and show people on the world stage, I'm ready for that.
What is your ultimate goal?
Greatest of all time. Easy.
Fuck yeah.
Easy, right? Short, quick, simple, to the point, baby.
So are these other guys you're hanging out with all the time threatened by you because you're trying to surpass them?
Nah, because it's not like, at the end of the day, the way I think about it too, and the way a lot of our team thinks about it, we grind together, right? And it's like when we wrestle, when I wrestle with Aljo, obviously I'm trying to be better than Aljo. But like, dude, my goal as a fighter isn't to be better than Aljo. You know what I'm saying? My goal as a fighter is to be better than every single other person who ain't in our room. You know what I'm saying? So for me, going with Aljo, going with those guys, Marab, it pushes me. 100% it pushes me, because I got to either catch up to their level or I got to try and, beat them in an area. But, that's not the goal. I could do well in sparring, do well in the gym, but if I get my ass kicked in a fight, what does it all matter? You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I want to work with those guys, and still pursue my dream of being the best. And I help them be the best too. So that way, when they go out and compete, they're out there beating on everybody else too. That's not part of our team. It's Sarah Longo versus the world, baby, over here. And we ain't taking no losses.
Why do you think makes it such a petri dish for legendary fighters?
You know what it is, man. I think one, we're not really out recruiting people, A lot of the fighters that just go there end up there. I look at Chris Weidman. He's just a guy from Baldwin, you know what I mean, who wrestled and said, I want to try this fighting thing out and make some money, for my wife and kids. I look at Matt. He was a bouncer, you know what I mean, a very, good jiu-jitsu competitor, but You know, he's just a guy from Long Island too, who wanted to fight professionally and take it as far as you could. You know, I look at Aljo, you know, he's just a dude from Uniondale, man, who wants to be the best. And he went to a gym, you know, around his block that was really freaking good. Same thing with Al, except he's from Wanta. You know, even me, it's not like I went to Sarah Longo, you know, looking I almost ended up there by accident. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just so happened that the same year I ended up there, Chris Weidman beats Anderson Silva. You know what I'm saying? Like, so all these things, one, we don't really go out recruiting people, but two, it's all about, you know, the people in the gym. And if you're not about the people in the gym, then we got no time for you. You're probably going to be out of there. And I don't mean in the sense where like, we'll kick you out, you know, if you know, or anything like that. But like, it's one of those things, man, where if you don't mix, you probably won't be around that long. If you're not a nice guy who cares about your teammates, yeah, you probably won't be around that long because nobody's going to want to help you since you're not helping anybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about just keeping it close, tight knit, and make sure everybody just levels up, man, and grows.
Facts. All right. Before we end this, hot question to end it off. Who's the best to ever fight in mixed martial arts? Who's the GOAT?
I like Khabib. He's undefeated, but I think he falls a little bit short to some of these guys. I mean, obviously when I was growing up, Anderson Silva was my favorite, but I'm gonna have to go with George Rush St. Pierre. He beat every person he ever stepped in the ring with. He was champion for around 6 to 7 years, which good luck doing that today. That's tough as nails to do. And the guy was probably, you know, the most well-rounded mixed martial artist, maybe of all time, other than Mighty Mouse. You got to give it to GSP.
All right. Hey, that you saying that is going to go viral on TikTok. I just want you to know.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Send it to me. I'm going to throw it on there too.
Bet. All right. I'm going to clip this.
Yeah.
All right. Peace out, brother. Thank you for your time.
Hey, thank you for having me on.
For sure.
Next time, I'm going to try and bring one of the UFC belts on here.
Yo, yeah. If you get a UFC, promise me right now, if you get it, when you get to the UFC and when you win the belt, you're coming back here.
If I could give you a piggy promise, I would, brother.
Fuck yeah. All right. You heard it here, folks. All right.
All right.
Peace out, bro. Have a good one.
Peace.
Thank you.